Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Bible in Order, where we are chronologically going through the entire Bible in 1 year. Today's reading for February 3rd is Exodus chapters 13 through 15. The Red Sea crossing. Have you ever had a Red Sea moment when you were stuck between a rock and a hard place, or a rock and a rock, as some would like to say? Have you ever been in such a situation where if God didn't move, you would die? Or at least it felt like you would. Could you imagine what it would be like for God Himself to appear as a pillar of cloud by day and a fire in the sky at night? And you would always know exactly where God was. You could always see Him with your physical eyes. And our temptation is to think that would be so much easier if we could see Him. But if we look at the reaction of the Israelites then, it's not unlike most of the reactions that we are tempted to have now. See, I don't think they had the Holy Spirit. And I also don't think that they had a great mindset. They certainly didn't have the scriptures, right? They didn't have Bibles to open. The law hadn't been given yet. It hadn't been written. They had oral tradition. They had this history of the world, this idea of the way God created things. They had stories of their fathers and grandfathers. I'm sure they knew about Abraham. I wonder if they knew of the prophecy that God had told Abraham that his descendants would be foreigners and slaves for 400 years. I wonder if anyone had done the math, that they knew, or that perhaps they should have known, that 400 years had come to an end. Regardless, they were complaining, they were scared, they were uncomfortable, and a lot like many Christians today. I don't know about you, but I question whether or not seeing God in a cloud or as a pillar of fire would change anything for me, really. Perhaps it's easier to see God in the scriptures. But one thing's for sure, God is there, God is here, He will protect His people, and He loves to show up at the very last minute. Which is better, to see God move in a miracle or to never need a miracle in the first place? I mean, we love miracles. We love the stories of miracles. But wouldn't we be better off if we never even needed the miracle in the first place? Have you ever been praying for someone who was on their deathbed, who was suffering tremendously, and just your heart was broken in prayer, and you were not even suffering nearly as much as they are? Oh, but the heartache. God saved them, and then He does miraculously. He miraculously saves them, and then we're so grateful and we love to tell the story. But wouldn't it have been better had they never gotten sick in the first place? Perhaps. Perhaps we need to go through the valley to really appreciate the mountaintop. Perhaps we have to endure the pain in order to appreciate the healing. Maybe we have to be at the edge of the Red Sea, being pursued by a huge army that was going to kill us or enslave us, not sure which is worse, in order for God to miraculously wipe out that enemy and spare us. Maybe we have to go through that fear to really appreciate God's deliverance. I would love to hear what you think. Shoot me a message on Rumble at Bible in Order. or on YouTube, on Facebook. You can send me a message through BibleInOrder.com or even send me an email at 365BibleReading@proton.me. God bless you, my friends. Thank you for being on the journey. I love hearing from you, so keep those messages coming. We'll see you tomorrow.